welcome to the group chat. Today again joined by myself, Errol, and your boy Marcel. And today we're just down in GoPlay Studios, again home of the group chat. And look, Marcel, we've actually got our logo up there now.
The logo was boxed off.
Yeah, so again, it was a quick turnaround with that as well, because got in touch with T-Box and he gave us a bit of a draft, kind of a mock-up one, didn't he, last week?
No, you started off with the roughest blueprint anyone's ever came. He sent me this thing over WhatsApp, and it was like on the back of a bit of like blind paper.
Yeah. So obviously I've sent him this concept and the idea for what it is. And
hey, but now it's one of those thoughts become things.
Exactly, and all of a sudden now, T-Box gave us a little mock-up on the other day, but I have to shout out Andy Pink. He has been the guy that's designed the logos, so we'll make sure that we drop his details in the description and let you guys know. So if you need any logos, hit up Andy Pink, because as I say, I think he's done a really good job with that, and I'm quite happy that the group chat logo looks 100% certy. So we're off to a good start, and it is still January, and I feel like the year has taken off in a good direction really, so I'm quite happy about that. Obviously now, just more than anything else, I can see that you've rocked up today, Marcel. You've got your slides, your gym leggings on.
I'm in comfy clothing. It's been a long day.
Okay, so tell me what's been going on today then. What's the script?
Busy day with work.
Okay.
So, you know me. I'm not normally one for wear clothes outside of work. I have with the two wardrobes. As I say, wear clothing. I've been in work since 7 o'clock this morning.
Okay.
Clients, PT sessions, one-on-ones. It's been one of those days. I've had people in and out, one in, one out. Yeah. I've been busy.
Early bird gets the worm.
This is why I'm here like this now. You know, you don't catch me like this outside of work.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You don't often catch you on such a kind of chilled vibe. Normally whenever I know I'm going to say, yeah, Marcel, we're going to go for a little scran, or Marcel, we'll go out and we'll go into town.
Definitely not like this.
You definitely ain't rocking up like this. You are probably...
I might wear slides, but it ain't going to be these slides. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, the slides you had on the other day, they were mad.
The fancy slides.
The fancy slides that you called them, they was mad, to be fair. But at the minute, I definitely think you are still one of the people more probably in and around the city that you've got your own kind of vibe when it comes to your fashion and your clothes and your style more than anything else. And that's something over the years that me and you have probably both had moments where we've both really been into certain brands. I can think back, obviously, the Boys Club.
There's been a few similarities that were too similar.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to go into that. Well, I'm not going to go into depth.
It starts with the VSU21 pockets.
This guy rocked up to the Trafford Centre with the same pair of Visu jeans. Both pairs had 21 pockets of every different colour. We must have looked like a pair of clowns walking through the Trafford.
But at the time, we probably thought it was height of fashion.
That with a babe jacket, every colour you could imagine. It was awful, and I look back now and I think the only positive I take from it, I say, hey, at least even back then, you just done you. You didn't care then, you don't care now.
Standard 100%. But I think one of the things as well, if anyone ever checks out Marcel's Instagram, one of the things probably that's deep within your Instagram is the shoe collection. How did that start, lad?
The shoe collection. Wow.
Well, at one point, how many shoes?
Okay.
How many shoes in the collection was there at one point?
Okay. At one point, it peaked at around 300 pairs.
300 pairs. And were they all the same brand, or was it 300 pairs?
So 90% of it were Nike SB Dunks.
Okay.
I was a big follower, a big collector of Dunks.
And what was the driving force behind being a big collector of Dunks?
It was something that I'd been into for years, and I just sort of, you know me well.
Because if I'm right in thinking,
I never do things by half. I never just buy one of something. I collect.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, if I'm right in thinking, Dunks are traditionally a skating shoe.
No, to the basketball shoe.
Okay.
The SB side
the
of
SB
it was where
side of it.
So a lot of kids wore the basketball, wore
That's
the Dunks.
Yeah.
And then they adapted it, extra padding, a thicker tongue and so on, reinforced the midsoles, and this is how the SB Dunk became a thing.
Oh, okay.
Even earlier than that, we had the Pro Bs, and there's a whole other history behind that. But yeah, the basketball. I can see
all the sneakerheads in there just like slyly just pulling off over this thing. Yeah, he's sick.
The basketball shoe became the skate shoe, which
Yeah.
is where the SB line was born.
Okay, cool.
And I
So,
fell heavily into
so you
that.
fell for that, yeah?
Yeah,
So,
that
and
was
how
me.
many shoes did you have at one point from that collection then?
Easily 250 pairs.
And what was the rarest one out of those?
There was, for anybody who's really into shoes, who knows the shit.
Yeah.
There's a few. I still own What the Dunks. Reese Denim Forbes. I know this is another language to London's, Tokyo's.
But you've had people give you mad offers to take them off you as well, haven't you? And
there's some that I took at the time. Some were considered mad offers at the time.
Yeah.
There's some that I do seriously regret selling for at the time, but it's one of those swings and roundabouts things.
Yeah.
I've made money, I've lost money, and we're talking like, to those out there who don't collect shoes or don't understand how the whole sneaker culture thing works, I've spent like big money on shoes. Where, go on.
Do you do that thing in because I've been down there with you as well in the over the road camping
Laces
furnace.
Out?
Lace Out, yeah. So that's for all the big sneakerheads in
very
Liverpool.
first Laces Out festival, I actually had a lot of my collection on display.
Yeah, I remember going to that one with you.
You helped us clear it out. You understood, like, that was when it was at the peak of its madness.
Yeah.
So imagine we were trying to get like, what do you say, about 200 pairs of Dunks in 3 cars. So we had all the shoes out the boxes. We carried the boxes through town via 3 cars. But to get them into the warehouse, set the thing up, it was mad.
Yeah.
And then I got everything set up. Obviously, compared to everything there, even though nothing was for sale, as a display, it
was
looked
a sick
sick.
display. Yeah, it was.
But I remember sitting there thinking, oh shit, we've got like so many grand, we've got so many grand's worth of shoes there. I didn't feel safe. I was like, it only takes one person to run through now.
and then
I remember feeling so safe, like, yeah, we've got everything back in the car. Yeah, we've got everything. We're making moves, but back in, everything was like back in order.
Okay, so at the moment then, am I right in saying that the SB collection is kind of when it's reduced in size?
Oh, it's massively. Yeah, I've got a much bigger range, so it's not just SB now.
Okay, so what's your go-to at the moment then? What is your go-to sneaker or your go-to chain or your strap?
My go-to sneaker
crep,
on a day to
day.
day. Don't get me wrong, I still wear Dunks.
Yeah, standard.
The few Dunks that I've kept hold of that I would never get rid of, I still wear. Slides, socks and slides for me at the minute is a big thing. It's comfort, whether it be the casual Adidas ones that I just wear for work or so on, or it's what you call the fancy art slides that come out last week. That can be worn anywhere.
I'm gonna have to take a picture of these and we're gonna have to put them in a thumbnail somewhere. These slides.
The slides are good. Night out trainers. See, that's the thing. I don't like this whole thing with wearing shoes. I don't do smart.
No, I know.
1, because it doesn't fit me. It's not comfortable. And 2, because I just don't do smart. So for me, I've got another pair that I would never get rid of. I've got a pair of Louis Vuitton. Like his collab that he done with Kanye.
Okay, that's it.
That is one pair that I pretty much always wear on a night out. So if you see me on a night out once, it's like, hey, this kid's sick. If you see me on 3 or 4 nights out, it's like, hey, this kid's wearing the same shoes he was wearing last week, but hey, to me, they look sick and they're comfy.
Yeah, no, absolutely, 100%. So, I think we've always, I wouldn't say we, in any sort of competitive way in terms of fashion, but we've always had our very own particular styles, and there's been overlaps in times as well. So, as I say, there was that mad period going back longer than 10 years now where we was heavily into, it was all about big bright colours. And it was all about BBC, Billionaire Boys Club, ice cream, Bape, and
Avisu was another one.
Avisu was a big one at the time.
I still wear these brands. I feel like, how can I put it? I feel like I've matured. Not like, oh, now you're in your 20s, you've got to dress and act a certain way. Because that's not me. But you'd never catch me wearing something of like 7 or 8 different colours now. Yeah. In a way that I did back then. Like if I like something now and it's brightly coloured, I'll still wear it. I had a hoodie the other week with the slides as well. Actually, a hoodie, American Stars and Stripes hoodie.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And it was, so you got like the blue, the white, the red, and then the slides, which are brown, silver, purple. I've contradicted myself with that lack of colour.
But no, I don't
do it in the same way.
Yeah, I know. And I think even mine, like
back then, it was all it had to be colour. I liked to wear things purely because they were bright.
I think as well. I think a lot of that. You know what, like. The garms that I miss wearing more than anything else, basketball jerseys. Like
I still wear that.
I know you still. I still wear them around the house, and sometimes I go to the gym in my basketball jersey. But it's a Sixers one, and it's an old Iverson one, and it's black and red, so it's not loud. But I remember the Celtic ones you used to have.
Cool
I
kids,
remember, I remember the Lakers ones we used to have. You had the red Chicago Bulls one back in the day as well. Them to me are garms that I just think, wow, it reminds me of that kind of like hip hoppy era as well.
With the new era, we thought we were them kids on the music videos, but like the hat was never just left on. It was, and I believe I actually got a hat on this as well back then. It was like, the hat was all kinds of mad ways, but straight.
But we did, and we had the hookup in Liverpool for the things like hats and new era hats, because Elements back in the day. So again, if anyone doesn't know what Elements was an independent clothes shop that he basically specialised in new era hats
and then King brought a lot of the up and coming clothing brands at the time. They had LRG.
Yeah. King Apparel. Yeah.
There was a few, what else?
There was a few things, man, that you had going on.
Nowhere else at the time over here, nowhere else had them.
If you knew where Elements was, and now this is why it's a bit of a throwback, is because it was placed in the building that took over from Quiggins. So again, Quiggins dates back even further, and that's where it was originally. And then after it was in Quiggins, it was moved to is it the Barcelona bar? Is that where it was called? Yeah. So that's where it was moved to, and for about 4 or 5 years, we'd still go in there, we'd still get hats, we'd speak to the guy, and he looked after us.
What hats he had in large size.
Yeah. Is it 5 and?
I use it 7 or 5/8.
7 and 5/8.
Anyone who understands New Eras, that's a big
head.
hat. But at least I never had to share hats or swap hats with anyone. It was like, my hats were mine.
Yeah, standard. But we had, again, that was another thing that at one point in time, there was a whole collection of, between the two of us, I think I had close to like 30 hats at one point in time. You would have had well over that as well. It was...
The hats were never a big deal.
For me, they was.
I
love my hats because the last 12 months.
The hats for me were a big deal when I had braids.
Yeah.
Obviously, if I had wild hair, like
there was never.
Other than looking like I'm serving fast food, then it's against me will. I ain't getting a hat on this. All kinds of hair sticking out the side.
But now, obviously, again, as I was saying, the fashion's probably changed, and even myself, I've probably toned down. Again, I was like you. I loved a lot of colours back in the day, different colourways. I think not necessarily like an attention thing, but it was like. You had bright colours on, people would spot you a mile away and you'd know, oh, there's Marcel and Errol. He was just onto our vibe and our style as we was kind of just doing our thing. But as I say, even in myself, in terms of fashion, I'd say gone within myself. I'm a lot more minimalist in my wardrobe now. As I say, Monday to Friday, I'll be there in the kind of office attire, kind of just, you know,
that 9
to 5 outfit. But then in my downtime, if I'm obviously not doing any sort of exercise or training, that pretty much same sort of brand that I loved back then.
Billionaire Boys Club.
Still love now, yeah. Billionaire Boys Club.
That was out of all of them. That's the one for me. That's the one that back in the day stands out.
Yeah, absolutely.
As like, if I think back to a certain period of time where we were, as you say, heavily into the fashion, for me, Billionaire Boys Club was the one, because it was so exclusive at the time. Like. Now you can walk into half a dozen shops across the city
and find it.
And everywhere has Billionaire Boys Club ice cream.
Yeah.
And it's not what it once was. At the time, back then, we're talking 2005, 6. Flannels in town was the only place in Liverpool that was lucky enough to get it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, some cities had one shop, and Flannels was ours.
Yeah.
And we built up a little bit of a thing purely through going in and mostly window shopping. We're like 15, 16 at this point.
And to be completely honest, my wardrobe at that point in time was heavily funded by my parents, and I've got it's the same way now when I see these young kids rocking around young kids rocking around now in these £300 pair of Giuseppe runners or whatever it might be, Balenciaga runners, whatever it is. I'm thinking, who's bought you that?
I remember at the time it was a big deal. 2 things I remember from Flannels: a 70 quid t-shirt. I feel like one of these old people that used to tell me like things were cheap back in my day compared to now, but now seriously, like 15 years ago, 70 quid was steep for a t-shirt.
Yeah, for it still is. Like now,
but it's not.
No, it's not in terms of fashion. But for me, now when I go into a shop, I can't justify paying £70 for a t-shirt anymore, because at the end of the day, it's the material. I can get so much more material if I don't particularly go to that one brand. Yeah. And I've always been that. Again, we had this conversation before off camera, in a sense that there'll be times when I will rock me, £150 ice cream hoodie, but then I'll mix it up, and me jeans might be from H&M, or
whatever goes.
you know, whatever it might have been. It might have been from River Island or Topshop or something like that. But I'll mix and match it and find a way to balance it and style it, because I know now in this day and age, I can't afford to be paying, you know, top whack for just to look good and chase fashion. I'm not into chasing fashion.
Stupid enough. Fashion at the minute is very, but in Liverpool as well, it's such a fast-moving thing.
Yeah.
People will buy stuff purely because they feel they have to have it because it's in at the moment. Yeah, that's 100%. What I don't get. Yeah. And then, like, 3 months down the line, your £200 T-shirt is old news, and people will brown nose you for wearing that. Like, I've got, by the way, I still own them £70 T-shirts, and this is the biggest fuckery. I don't know how they still fit. I bought these T-shirts at 16. I swear they've grew with me, because I can still wear some of them, and, like, anyone who knew me at 16, I was not the kid I am now.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I can only assume I wore these tops must have looked like I'd borrowed my big brother's top, and he must have been by my knees back then.
Well, I think the same about some of the stuff that I must have been rocking. I remember the one year, it must have been Christmas, and I got the ice cream hoodie, and they didn't have it in my size, but I was determined to get it anyway, so I must have got like it might have been, I think I needed it in a large, but I got it in an XL, just because it was the only one that was there. But on some real shit, I wanted that hoodie badly, so I was like, I don't care what size it is, I'm putting it on. But yeah, and I rocked it, man. As I say, I'd say they was the height of...
That hoodie would have fitted me big now.
Yeah, it would have still been big on me now, 100%. But at the time, that was the height of, like, they were the brands that we would...
At the time, you couldn't get it. Let's just say there. They never had your size. It wasn't a case of, I'll have a look online, or...
Yeah.
At the time, nowhere online even had it in this country.
But I think that's what's changed a lot of things in fashion now, and I was going to ask you this anyway, because I know you are personally, and obviously we'll touch on your brand in a sec, but you've got... You're not big on Instagram in that sense, but your presence on Instagram, you do use it, and you're active on Instagram.
Yeah.
Have you noticed a lot more brands being advertised over the likes of Instagram and stuff that have just popped up now?
So many. I feel like
it's more accessible to get stuff online, whereas when we, obviously you're still into fashion, but when I'd say we'd buy clothes monthly and be constantly getting new clothes, you'd physically have to go into a shop, try it, see it in your size, get the brand that you want, get the fit you want, and then leave. Whereas now I feel like there are so many different avenues, and I'm one of the people, I don't really shop online. I've never really dipped my toe into it, but people are always telling me now, oh, these brands are on Instagram, or you can get that online, and I think there is a big gap now.
It's a lot easier to set up a brand now.
Okay.
I feel because there's the know-how.
Yeah.
It's how can I put it? I don't know. A lot more people are doing it.
Yeah.
So the information on how to do it is
available.
It's not a big deal. It's anybody with an idea can download a 100-page catalogue from China with every conceivable style of a certain product.
Okay.
Place an order with a supplier and have it sent over in abundance.
Okay.
After that, it's a case of getting your logo stamped on it, and there you got a brand.
Okay, so
it's good and it's bad. It's good in the sense that it's you're able to do that. On the flip side to it, there's also that thing of anybody with a logo can now print stuff on, like a Fruit of the Loom to get it a brand. Yeah.
Right. Well, before we
before
we touch on your brand and what what you've got going on for yourself at the moment, then just for the people watching and stuff at home, give me a rundown of, in your eyes, what locally brands people should be keeping the ears to the ground on, and don't be sleeping on certain brands, and then what other brands you've kind of stuck with over the last couple of years.
For me, within Liverpool, the one brand I have always gone to and always will go to and I'll always shout out is Lost Art.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, and that's the absolute number one go-to that's still in my my day-to-day wear now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got like half a wardrobe full of Lost Art stuff.
Okay, cool.
Because I've watched them. And I've got a good relationship with them, and I've knew them over the years. As I say, going back to the trainer thing, a lot of what I used to buy was from Lost Art. Yeah. So much so it became a thing where it was like I'd get a phone call. It was like, we've kept you your size and come down. I didn't even know what it was a lot of the time, but it would have been around 2014. I had a good job at this point. I'm living at home with a good job. I've basically got money burning a hole in my pocket.
Standard.
I was buying anything and everything that was dunk. Honestly, you could have sold me anything just by telling me it was Nike, and I'd be like, yeah, take me money.
Yeah.
So at this point, I was just, all they had to do was tell me they had something in my size.
And you was in.
And I was there. And it wasn't a case of, we'll bring him in just to take his money. It was because they knew I genuinely appreciated it. And I was so into that brand at that time that it was like they were doing it to look out for me, because it's not, even back then, it's not unlike what it is now with the whole online and computers and bots and stuff. Back then, it was still hard. You had to be kind of in the circle, in the know, to get certain pairs of trainers.
Okay, that makes sense.
And they did help me out massively with that.
And then, okay, so that's local. So again, anyone from Liverpool, they should know. And if you don't know, you know, Google, find out where Lost Art is, and find out obviously what kind of garms that they've got going on. In terms of yourself now, what kind of stuff would people normally see you out in at the moment? What's your go-to brands?
Definitely not. As I say, definitely not this. In work, outside the work.
Yeah, outside there.
For me, I've got this struggle now where I've got a balance between clothes that fit comfortably and clothes that I like. And that's a hard thing to balance. There's so much stuff out there that it looks great on the 6 foot tall model who wears a medium, as the description keeps telling me.
Yeah.
But then there's a photo I can show you of this where I order something and it's not as it seems. So it looks, as I say, it looks great on the kid on the photo. I'm like, yeah, do you know what? If that looks like that on me, I'm all for it. And then when it turns up, no.
Like it, it's like Wish.
There's a photo you need to see, which will explain that perfectly. But I had a nightmare last year, an absolute wardrobe disaster with a pair of ASOS swim shorts right before I went to Mob Air.
Okay.
So yeah, the pink swim shorts look great on the kid on ASOS.
That's it, the pink swim shorts.
The pink swim shorts did not look good on me. That's all you need to know.
Fair enough.
But I still rocked the bright yellow ones, and the yellow ones were sick.
Alright, cool. So we can put a pin in that then, yeah. So now, explain to me then the process for yourself, because again, I know fashion has always been, it's more of a style. It's more of it's another good way to represent your personality, I'd say.
Yeah.
In terms of obviously being able to express yourself by whatever you're wearing at the time. You've taken that one step further in the last 12 months, and even me as like obviously a good mate of yours, I've noticed that massively in the fact that you've now designed your own label and you've got your own brand. And I just kind of want you to explain the process to me about that. How did you come around to thinking, this is what I want to do next?
Okay, so I'd say that the two things at the minute that are kind of me. If you were to say to them, you know, what's he into? It's obviously the gym and obviously the fashion. So, given that now the gym and the personal training, that's took over, that's all out, that's my career now.
Yeah.
It didn't really leave any time for me to fall back into something I always wanted to do, which was a fashion brand.
Okay, yeah.
I'm at a point now where I'm never gonna delve too deep into like the real fashionable outside of the gym type thing.
Yeah.
So for me, it made much more sense to apply that in a way that it was something I could wear day to day.
Yeah.
I'm not in my fancy clothes day to day with being in work, so for me, sort of I can still wear, that's still my own.
And it's got your style.
But yeah, it fits my day to day and can also benefit a lot of other people.
Okay, so in terms of the brand, then introduce the brand to the group chat, to the viewers.
So the brand, I know a few people have questioned me on it with Synergenetix.
Okay.
If we really have to go there with like the in-depth, how did that become a thing? It was just a merging of two words, synergy being, so bear in mind this is like a sideline to my own personal training, so the two run hand in hand. I have my own personal training which is done, and then me and a good friend of mine, Sess, we've set up the Synergenetix brand.
Yeah.
So that kind of the two kind of run alongside each other. So the synergy being the coming together of three things: the food, the training, and the rest. Now you can do any one of them by themselves and see limited results in the gym. But getting all three together, you now have the synergy. You're going to get the most out of your training, which is what we aim to get out of our clients.
Okay, I like that.
On top of that, it does help.
I don't think you've ever deeped it to me like that before, so that was a good breakdown. To be fair, you're selling it to me.
On top of that, you've got genetics, which are also a massive part in how far you can progress. Not necessarily just.
Everyone's probably got a ceiling.
Not necessarily just within bodybuilding.
No, but I'm saying in training, everybody's probably everybody
dependent upon sport
has probably got a ceiling.
So me, for example, with my build and my height, I'm never going to be a high jumper. And now you're pretty laughing at the idea of that, like me trying to do the high jump. Do you know what I mean?
No, I understand what you're saying.
It doesn't matter. All the will in the world, I can apply myself. I can do 20, 30 hours a week training with the elites. I'm not a high jumper.
Yeah, standard.
But put me in a gym for 20, 30 hours a week and I'll excel.
Yeah.
In the same sense, 6'5", 12 stone child who's like, struggling to put size on. Okay, there is examples I've seen where people have absolutely doubled in size, but realistically, in most cases, they're not going to grow up to be a powerlifter or somebody who, depends on short, explosive movements.
Okay.
So the genetic side of things
does play a big part.
Is a big part, and our idea behind it was to take the three things that you have control of. You can control how good your rest is, how much rest you get. You can control what food you're putting in, and you can control how much effort you put into the training.
Sick.
Our idea is to take those three things alongside the genetics that you give that you can't change them, and make the most of. The four together will bring out the best in somebody.
Okay, so I really like that concept. Then you obviously anything that you do, it's been well thought through, and I can understand it now. So from your perspective, then what is the future goals for the Synergenetix brand then as a brand? Where would you like
where
it to
we're
go
at the minute? We've I'm proud looking at it because in a short space of time we've got the clothing on a lot of people.
Okay, any that you can mention? Is there any people that?
At this point, no, there's no reason why I can't mention. At this point, though, there's a good range of sports people.
Okay.
Big names within Liverpool. That have wore the brand.
Sick.
And it's not a case of like shoving it out. Can you please wear this? Like begging people to. It's people have asked.
Yeah.
As I say, a lot of people have expressed interest more than I thought at first. I thought at first it's going to kind of spread between our clients, the people that we coach in the gym and online, maybe if we have to send some out, people ask for. It's gone a lot further than that. It's been in quite a few gyms across Liverpool and further afield. To a point where I've had people messages, is that your brand? Oh yeah, I've seen such and such wearing it. It was in my gym. Which gyms? And it's like, oh, it was in Manchester. We've actually got it on quite a few people. There's, I say, it's at a point now where it's kind of friends and then friends of friends have worn it. So there has been people across, say, a couple of the lads wore it for us on a holiday in Ibiza. We've had like various holidays where it doesn't have to just be a gym brand. For me, it's a gym brand. I wear it in the gym. But it doesn't just have to be that.
It could be a leisure. So, I think, like, when I see it...
Kind of like an Under Armour.
Yeah, I kind of completely
nobody really frowns at someone wearing an Under Armour to go have a few drinks in a pub of a daytime or something like that.
Okay.
At the same time, people you can wear the same outfit to go and train, and it doesn't look out of place. So the eventual goal is to get it to that point where we've got enough of a range that we kind of cover all bases.
And I think that's what you've said there is very interesting in terms of what we're currently doing at the moment in terms of the podcast. We've spoke about doing this, and we've spoke about how we want to put the podcast out there, and the idea of the podcast is ideally to kind of bring as many different people within Liverpool from a variety of different walks of life to come and have similar conversations like we're having tonight. And I think, again, Brandon, like yourself, and obviously now we've got a sick new logo, and we've got the home here down in the Baltic Social from GoPlay Studios. I think a lot of these ideas now are going to start to come to life, and I'm really excited for what the next couple of months I've got in store. So you're definitely going to, I know you're going to keep me posted anyway, but I know there'll be people watching that I'll be interested to see the progress on the brand. And in terms of if anyone wants to cop a couple of t-shirts or hoodies, how would they go about doing that?
But this is another thing we're hoping to, I'd say, improve upon.
Okay.
So the whole thing for me, as I say, it's a different thing in having an interest in fashion and actually running a brand.
Oh, yeah,
the whole thing for me, or as with any business, the whole thing for me, it's a learning curve.
Yeah.
So there's things that I wouldn't have even considered where you learn, it's not just a case of getting a t-shirt, you're putting a logo on a t-shirt, you've then got to market it, you've got to distribute it, there's a lot involved that I didn't actually
anticipate to begin.
Take into consideration at first. At the minute, it is kind of sold on a if you know basis. So people who know us, mates of mates, will say, hey, get us one of them. That's the point it's at. Going forward from there, we're hoping to have a full online shop set up.
Okay.
Once we've got kind of enough, I don't want it to just be a brand where we have just a few t-shirts. There has to be enough of a range to justify what we're doing and accommodate that. And given that it's the whole learning process, I'm building up and
Well, that's a
building
good
up.
plan. It's something that you're building towards, though. It doesn't have to just be an instant thing. It's
not one of them.
It's going to be organic in its growth, as opposed to we're going to force, we're going to force order and get 1,000 orders of t-shirts in all different sizes, and we're just going to sit on them until they're all gone, type of thing.
We're more of a, we'll order 20 of those and we'll see how they go, and if they do well, we'll build. That's where we're at the minute.
Well, to me, it seems like you've got, obviously, I know you've got your head screwed on, but it seems like I fully think that the brand is a strong image anyway, and I think the way you've just lined it up there and broke it down, it really does make sense to me as well now. So obviously more of these conversations will be had, and I know you'll keep me up to date and you'll keep everybody else up to date on how they can purchase them as and when. But as I say, if you know, you know. If you don't, stay tuned. As from us tonight at the group chat, plenty more conversations. As I say, hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll have some interesting guests that are going to come sit in and feature with us, and hopefully just share their experiences as well. Hopefully give a little bit of an insight to what's going on in Liverpool on a local sense, but give you a bit of an insight into a lot of the talent that's hidden in Liverpool as well. So stay tuned. You'll see plenty more from me and Marcel, and again here down in GoPlay Studios, your boy the host Errol Marcel, the group chat.